HR, what are you seeing in the marketplace at the moment, Kelly?
Right. Okay.
Lots.
A lot. I think, yeah, a lot. I think there's a lot of changes in HR generally at the moment around employment legislation, and actually the evolving landscape of the expectations around HR at the moment. What we're out talking about all the time is how those individuals get more flexible support.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a cost controlled environment generally across the UK at the moment, but people don't want lengthy contracts and fully integrated services, but what they really need is someone to talk to and bounce professional ideas around HR off, and there just isn't anything like that in the marketplace at the moment. You get a lot of employee relations support lines, but actually what we were hearing a lot from our networks is that they need someone to talk more widely about HR strategy and how they execute that within the business. Hence the reason we have actually set up our professional guidance services line.
What's the business case for this professional HR guidance then?
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's a really good question. So
It is in today, isn't it?
Everything is business case related, right? So I think there's a number of things actually, and depending on your own individual situation, it may vary. But I think there's a key one around keeping businesses safe. So there's so much legislation changes at the moment around employment laws, actually having that risk management piece and actually being able to keep compliant.
Hello compliance, hello risk, let's do risk.
And having that kind of that organisation to go to keep you safe and be able to validate and kind of have a second pair of eyes over the documents that you're creating. I think there's so much requirement around workforce development at the moment, and actually we're all learning around workforce development and the skills that are required.
At pace.
And at pace. So actually, again, having the ability to go and work with an organisation like ourselves that have access to lots of different businesses to see how it goes is a really good thing. It gives you access to a huge wide spread of HR expertise. So therefore, actually, by keeping that individual in HR in your business, you've actually brought a load of talent around the edges at a fraction of the cost.
Because you don't need it all the time anyway.
Exactly that. And then I think the final point is that actually there is an option to also add on some executive coaching for that individual in HR that would help them to develop professionally as well. So there's lots of ways of then developing your own career and support there.
And then them being able to complete their sort of continued
CPD.
professional development. Yeah, absolutely. Easy for me to say. Lots of sort of specialist help and support, very, very generalistically around the whole employee life cycle. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you get down into these, you know, individuals, businesses, they think employee relations issues are primarily the issue, but actually it's so greater than that. There's so much more to it. And it's easy to kind of find someone that can help you with a people issue, but actually when you think more broadly about you know, your workforce planning and your HR strategy, there's nothing out there to really bounce those ideas off.
Total workforce topics. So tell me, what guidance lines are there out there at the moment then?
So you get the typical kind of call in advice against policy, usually dealing with things like grievances, sickness, AWOL, absence, etc.
Doris and Flo have had a fight in the car park.
Exactly that. And actually what we have found more traditionally now is there'll always be employee relations needs, so HR guidance around that. But our full HR guidance line is actually linked more around more wider topics within HR. So it might be looking at things like what they need from a data and technology perspective in HR. It might be linked to they've formulated a HR strategy and actually what they want is a second pair of eyes over that, or some advice around what good looks like in their marketplace. It might be something linked to how they develop their workforce solutions and actually optimise that workforce as well. So it's not so narrow as a complex people issue. It's much wider in terms of how they develop their people strategy.
So it's almost like having a best friend, isn't it? With a lot of knowledge that can really, really help you.
Absolutely. Yeah. That we've been topping it like that professional sounding board. If you're at home and you wanted to talk about something, you go to one of your friends.
Yeah.
It's
Phone a friend.
Exactly. It's a really isolated world, you know, in kind of the SME market. It might be a CEO dealing with these issues. It might just be they've got a standalone HR person in the business. We all know the best ideas don't come from working in isolation. So it's really good to be able to have someone to talk to and go through that with, really.
When do you think people should use this then? When should people use it?
I think it's the reason we've developed this solution is to provide businesses with flexibility. So it's a subscription-based model. So there's no like 12, 24-month contractual obligations.
Once we've got you, we can't let
You'll never want to leave anyway.
That's a good point, well made, actually.
But actually what it offers is it's that, you know, that business flexible support. We understand that the needs change quite flexibly in the market at the moment. It might be that you actually need support only for 3 months. Yeah. It might be that you want that support to be ongoing and you can switch it on and off as you require.
But turn on, turn off.
Turn on and turn off. It's also a really cheap way of having that kind of that sounding board. So you can choose, you know, a minimum of an hour a month. So it's a quarterly roll up of 3 hours a quarter. You can extend that to as many hours as you require. But what you can do is see what your usage is likely to be and flex that up and down with the need of the business with notice. So that's really important and critical, I think.
Absolutely, especially in the current environment. Yeah.
And I think the way it kind of works is that you've got a line you call into, and actually what our team do is triage you to the best HR consultant that you need. So we're not all good at everything, you know.
What you mean? I don't have to deal with a chat box.
Exactly.
And then just typing in help, help.
Exactly that. So you get
a real person,
real people.
No way.
So you get our human-centric commitment around that. You get put to the person that is a subject matter expert in that particular field of HR, and actually you get to know that individual for that particular inquiry. But it means you're speaking to people that understand what you actually need to resolve, rather than just having a generalist to talk to. So you've got a lot of options and people to help you.
And I am guessing this, but I'm looking almost for confirmation from you, but I find that people feel that they can't ask for help these days, which is ridiculous, isn't it? Because HR is so complex.
Yeah.
Actually, people, you know, just needing to ask for help, running it past somebody so that you get it right first time must be sort of quite invaluable for people.
And I think that's probably one of the barriers. You know, it's perfectly acceptable now to ask, you know, a lawyer or a employment guidance line around employee relations issues. But actually, it's not acceptable yet to ask about what your HR strategy is or how that succession plan's going to work.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do today is really break that barrier down. We're all HR professionals, but we all actually use our colleagues and networks to work through these solutions together. If you're in a standalone role, where'd you go? And I think this line has been very much set up, this service line to support businesses with those issues. And the barrier needs to be broken down. It's not weak to ask for support. Actually, it's very valuable to get that network involved.
Wow. So in summary, for the likes of myself, that like things nice and simple, if you were me, why would you say that you would go for this professional HR guidance line?
So it is fast, it's reliable, it's extremely cost effective. Yeah. You know, the subscription models start from kind of £250 a month. You know that you're not got that hefty commitment, so actually you can flex in and out as you need it. It might be that you've just got a big kind of program of work you need to deliver, and for that 6-month period you just need a second pair of eyes. So it gives you that flexibility, but it allows you then to move forward with that confidence and clarity that actually if you are on your own, you're just always second guessing. So talk to a professional and let them help you. So I think it's a really, really good, cost effective, efficient way to get the support that you need within the organisation.
Sounds pretty wonderful to me. Thank you.